Welcome to ATV Television, the original television program for ATV enthusiasts and adventurers.
Here's to the doers, the ones you see working hard day in and day out, making the world a better place for all of us. Carlisle Tire is proud to be a part of that team. With our full line of utility and recreational tires, like the hard-working Radial Badlands XTR, we make doers out of everyone who rides with us. Carlisle Tire, special tires for special purposes. Visit us on the web at carlisletire.com.
This is the most powerful production ATV made. What do you think?
Hey, listen, I was thinking after that shot that I put.
The Outlander 800, 28% more powerful than the Polaris 800, and 25% more than the Kawasaki Brute Force 750. Now with up to 6 times the warranty of the competition, a full 3 years.
Now, we left off with the finished tread layers being loaded into the books. And at yet another part of the plant, the tire's beads are being made. Now here, steel wire cable from giant spools is pulled through a machine that first twists the wires together and then coats the wrapped steel in rubber. Now, beads are what gives the tire its strength to stay mounted on a wheel without easily coming off, and also give it the strength to be mounted and dismounted using a tire machine. The next machine in line then rolls this into rings to the specific size needed for the diameter of the wheel size. Now, there the finished beads are final pressed and slid off the machine to then be labeled by type and size and stored for the final assembly process. And it's the assembly process that will bring all of these pieces together. And this is also where the whole assembly takes on a very personal approach, because it's here that all these pieces are put together by a skilled assembler. Now, he uses a collapsible and rotating drum to hold all the different parts of the tire as he puts them together. He starts by first putting the beads on the drum, then he starts wrapping the inner liner and the different plies around the drum. Next, the assembler uses the machine to press and shape the edges of the tire's plies together. He's then ready to prepare to place the tread compound around the machine. With the tread in place and pressed down, the assembler spins the drum, making sure that everything is in its place correctly, and then trims the excess rubber from the sides. And as he pulls his work from the machine, we have a completed green tire. Now from here, the green tires are marked again as to what type and size of tire they are, and then they are ready for the curing process. The curing process is where the round roll of rubber pieces really become a tire. Now, the mold for a specific tire's tread and sidewall nomenclature is positioned inside the clamshell of the press. The green tire is then placed inside the press on an inner flexible bladder, and then the press is closed. Now, once closed, steam is forced into the machine and first forces out all the foreign material from the mold, and then heats up to around 280 or so degrees as it expands the bladder and forces the rubber to expand into the mold and take that shape. the tire is then left in the mold for anywhere from 10 minutes to as long as 90 minutes, depending on the complexity of the specific tire design that they're doing. Then, once the curing process is completed, the tire can be removed, and what we finally see is a real tire. Now, from here, the tire is once again cooled before it heads to the final inspection. And here's a better look at the mold that's used in the press. Now, you can easily see the tread pattern in the sidewall nomenclature that's all been cut into the mold. And if you look real closer, you can see a bunch of small holes in the tread part of the mold. Now, these holes, called vents, are there to allow the little bit of extra rubber in the tire to expand out so that there's no voids left. And now you know where all those little rubber hairs come from on the tread of your brand new tires. And of course, those holes need cleaned to be sure they're not plugged and are able to let the rubber expand out properly. Now back to the tires, now cooled down and heading for their final stops. The first stop is the trim stand. This is where all the tires will have the excess vents trimmed off of the beads and then sent on down the conveyor to the inspector. Now, here, the inspectors will look the tires over for any obvious defects and then check them again for excess vent rubber. Now, if it passes his inspection, it's then stamped with his initials, showing that it has passed the inspection, and it's then sent on to the sort and pallet area, where the sorter pulls the tires off the conveyor and then sorts the tires by catalog number. He then puts those on pallets for transfer into the warehouse. Now, each pallet of tires is then dropped off at the entry into the warehouse. And once there, each pallet of tires are scanned by a receiving clerk and positioned with other tires with that same catalog number. Now, how many tires are there inside, you ask? Well, when we were there, we were told that there was about 330,000 tires inside the 90,000 square foot warehouse. That's 2 acres of warehouse. So the next time you take your tires for granted, give some thought to what it took to make them. And if you're like me, you may actually wonder how they can do it so cheap.
Are you driving around in a naked rhino? Well, strong up and ride. It's easy with a full line of great products by J. Strong Industries. Windshields, doors, consoles, bumpers, battery isolators, and even tops complete with lights and stereo systems. J. Strong products are designed to work and constructed with only the highest quality materials. Ask for J. Strong products at your local dealer or visit their website to find a dealer near you. J. Strong Industries. Strong up and ride. Welcome to ATV Television, the original television program for ATV enthusiasts and adventurers.
Here's to the doers, the ones you see working hard day in and day out, making the world a better place for all of us. Carlisle Tire is proud to be a part of that team. With our full line of utility and recreational tires, like the hard-working Radial Badlands XTR, we make doers